welcome to a draft of March of the Machines. I am Lucas Dre, and we are getting right into this draft format. We're just gonna click and say go. This is a pretty bombalicious format. So a lot of the matches have been decided um, based on how many bombs you play. Um, there are actual strategies that don't require bombs to win, but there are some cards that are just so good that you have to play them. Like this one. So pack one pick one is very important to open a very good card. And there are lots of good uncommons, but none of them are bomb-malicious. You want something like this. Sunfall is such a powerful card. The fact that you exile all creatures is huge. There's a lot of cards that require them themselves to die, to trigger. There's just a lot of things. Sunfall is just a phenomenal card, and it's the first one I've been able to draft, so that's kind of cool. Other than that, I do like the Haired Artisan. It's okay. You're not going to get normal games of Magic in this set, so seeing this as like a 2/3 that transforms into a 3/4 flying haste is fine. It's probably not better than the Ancient, in my opinion, or even Elspeth Smite, but Sunfall is incredible. Oh, wow. Okay, so then we get to follow up with, we could choose the Invasion here. This card's very good. Out of the battles, when you get permanents from it, technically creatures, that's pretty good for a battlement. That flips into something that's beneficial for you to have creatures, which is draft, so that's pretty good. There's also Sculpted Perfection, which is decent. Essentially, it's a 4 mana +1/+1 to all Phyrexians. Both are rare, and this produce Incubation, which gives you tokens that get +1/+1. Um, it's really tough because I think the Invasion is pretty good, but I also like Sculpted Perfection. I'm going to go the route that I instinctively think is going to be the best route. There's a lot of Phyrexians, and I like black in this format. I'm not a huge fan of white, but based on what we've taken so far, it's pretty good. Alright, I'm happy to take this here. The fact that we've taken two cards that are going to populate the board with incubation is pretty nice, and this is just another card that uses the incubation tokens, which is really cool. I see. What are you up to, Dumpster? Due to my hatred of myself, I'm playing Phyrexian Holy Poop. Oh, nice. You're 3 and 0. I'm proud of you. You've done it. Oh, dang. Oh, man. Ancient Imperiosaur. Like I said earlier, this is a format of bombs, and what's bombier than a Trample Ward 2 that you can invoke a giant monster into play? I'm surprised to see that. The other card I would consider taking here is Tiller of Flesh, which is phenomenal with the cards we've taken so far. But I think we're going to pass on the Dinosaur and just take the Tiller of Flesh. And the reason why I say this is phenomenal is that we have cards, black and white both have cards that target. And that's pretty good. And then there's the Invasion of Zendikar. So somebody's trying to force us into green, um, which unfortunately I've already been pushed into black-white, so I'm not going to go into green. Um, I'm going to take the Infect Defector here and stick with the incubation plays. I like incubating. It does allow us to go deeper. Oh, sweet. Um, yeah, I mean that's a great. So far, our picks have been pretty strong. I think that our deck looks pretty good so far. Invasion of. So I want to speak to the battles in this format. I think the battles when they um, basically improve your position on the board is pretty good. There are some invasions that aren't that exciting. This one is rated kind of low, but that's mostly because of the mana cost, not so much as its effect. Its effect is pretty good. The mana cost on it is a little high for what it does, and then the end result, you only get a 4/4, which is kind of lame. Okay, sweet. We got a. This is pretty good with the cards we've taken. Um, I like this creature quite a bit. It's a 2/2 for 2 that turns into a 3/3, but at 5 mana plus pay 2 life in our case. Um, but it does turn into a Phyrexian, which is complemented by the Sculpted Perfection, which is really cool. Other than that, I think the rest of this pack is kind of medium. I mean, War Historian would have been a fine thing if we would have stayed in green. The Copper Host Crusher, I feel like costs way too much for what it does. Um, I mean, it does a lot. An 8/8 for 8 that has Trample and Hexproof is pretty strong if you can manage to get that in play. I'm just going to go ahead and take the Doombringer. It's a Phyrexian Demon. When it enters, it's most likely just going to be draining life. Um, However, it's not bad at just destroying battles, and it also is kind of neat against like if somebody's trying to battle you, put a battle on you, and you have to protect it. Putting 3 counters on that battle is going to really make it tough. Flip Halberd, fine card. Temporal Cleansing is a great one. This card is underwhelming. I probably still would have taken War Historian. War Historian is fine there. Green is fine. Oh, sweet. So this is pretty good. So we can destroy a non-creature, non-token artifact or enchantment an opponent controls when we get to incubate. Or we could just incubate for 2 and then transform in incubation. Usually you just play against a 2/2. But like something like Sunfall, we could play this and then also activate it. But honestly, it's just a fine card. I've been pretty impressed by it. None of these cards are that exciting. I guess we'll take Aerial Boost. And, no, that's a pretty good creature. Yeah. Those packs are pretty good for green. Alright, we're all ready for the next pack. Okay, Invasion of Segovia. This card's pretty good. I'd say top tier. Glistening Dredge Deluge is not great. It's either we're taking Nizumi Informant or we're taking the Dune Shaper. I like Dune Shaper based on the cards we've taken. Oh no, never mind. We're just gonna take Unseal the Necropolis. There's not a lot of ways for black-white to draw a lot of cards. This is just a nice way to do that. Especially if we can get more of the plane cycling cards. I've been pretty impressed by this card. The fact that you can also beat your opponent with this in the long grinding games, which I have both won and lost to this card due to the mill. Oh man. Okay. If Lurrus is a very powerful card, I'm going to select it here. Any of the companions they put in the set have, by and large, been pretty powerful. There might be a couple like G'Kanta's not that exciting, but Yorion's insane. Kogla is insane. The 6-drop one is amazing. But right now we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 permanents. One of which is an equipment, and then we have these two. Oh, we only have 2 permanents, so this isn't looking the best, but it's still not bad. I think that it's good enough to take, especially since we're going to be trying to draft more low drops. The other card is Censor, which is good too, but we'll just take the Lurrus. Lurrus is just good. I think passing on Thor's would be a mistake. Alright, so then there's Ichor Drinkers are great. Cut Short is fine. I'm looking at Cut Short because we don't really have any interaction yet. Like Etched Host isn't that exciting, but we do have Sunfall. Yeah, we really are missing a few things here, but I'm going to go ahead and just take the Drinker over Cut Short. Cut Short is a good removal, but it's also lacking. I mean, Stoke the Flames is incredible. That's great. But we're going to go ahead and just take the Drinker. Drinker plays into our strategy a little bit better. Phyrexian Cleric, that's fine. We have the Sculpted Perfection. I think this is a fine card to put in our deck. And these failed conversions, we might take those later if we so desire. There we go. So if it wasn't for this Merciless repulsing, repurposing, this card's exactly what our deck wants. It's exile target creature at instant speed, incubate 3, which is very powerful. The other card here is Gloomfang Mauler. I would love to have this. Hopefully we wheel it. Unlikely, but it would be great. So let's go ahead and take that. That's fair. I wish everyone could get as many of those as we could. Daktos actually looks more playable. I've actually played with this card a few times. Now, I like it here. We have a lot of permanents that are white permanents specifically. But the awesome thing about this card is just the amount of life you can gain, and sometimes it's about hedging your bets on that. There's Unseal and Asunder, so hopefully we get one of those back. Oh, we also get to play Tiamat. Tiamat's also insane. No, I'll take that here. Tinctured Oilcaster. I haven't played with it. I've had it played against me. It's been really unimpressive. So, I mean, just a 2/4 menace for 4 mana is fine. I mean, it becomes a 3 if your opponent has, less cards in their deck, but it's usually impractical. But Tiamat is pretty good. So far, those have been some pretty good cards in that pack. Yeah, we'll just take another guy, another Drain Life dude. Alright. We have the Phyrexian. The other card here is Flirting Gorilla. Or, no. Yeah, is that Flirting? No. Fleeting Gorilla. Which is, oh my gosh. Gotta work on my English here. Boom. We'll take that. I'll take another one. Just another guy that flips into a Phyrexian. Sculpted Perfection being good here. We'll take the Favored. So far, we've gotten some pretty decent cards for the most part. I'm putting my cards in over on this side. These are my least desirable cards to play. I think everything else I'll play in my deck. Like having one Halberd in your list is surprisingly decent. Because Vigilance has always been is a strong mechanic. And giving yourself a +1/+1 over your opponent's creatures is pretty huge. This card gets passed around a lot, mainly because red-white sucks, and overall, now some people you might draft and get a red-white deck, but I find it to be unimpressive. It's possible we can get a splash. There is a creature. That's your problem. Oh, my problem is this pack is balls. I think we're going to take another Sunder of the Gateway. I think that card's quite good. Oh, sweet. Okay, we're going to take Gift of Completion. I think this card's quite good. Over the Aetherblade Agent is decent. just a death touch is fine. But this is a permanent that allows us to continually to gain advantage. I'm going to go ahead and cut these from our deck. So we're looking to get at least 3 more cards here that complement our strategy. So hopefully we can get some more removal. Because Tiller of Flesh is phenomenal. And I would like to see some more removal. Or things that target. Right now we have 2 Sunders which target. And this card. That's about it. Alright, we're going to take Collective Nightmare, but this card is amazing. Putting a creature into the battlefield just enters the battlefield, and it has this effect. It's pretty insane. Oh, and there's a... My god. Collective Nightmare is good, but it's not better than this. This kills anything, and I would rather have this card. Collected Nightmare is great. Hopefully we can get one of these 3 removal spells. I honestly would love that. We got the Flourish. That's nice. Another rounded removal. Okay, so that's a lot better. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 spells at target. That's pretty good. It is the guy. Gloomfang Mauler. Let's go. I do like this card. There's a second one. This card is interesting because it does work well with our Luris. We can play this, pumping one of our creatures, sacrifice it, get it back later with Luris. This is actually probably better than the Fang here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in our deck. Let's see, what is a creature that, or a card we don't want to play with? Yeah, Double Fang and the Alabaster. Oh, sweet. Okay, this is one of those sieges that also affects the board and then turns into a creature, which is really strong. I'm going to go ahead and take that here. If this wasn't as good as it was, I'd probably just take the land, but it's just a solid removal spell. I guess I don't really care about any of these cards. I'll just take this. This is actually... Yeah, red has been open. Red's got some good stuff. We don't need any more removal. I'll just take this card, I guess. Alright. It looks like we have our deck. We just need to trim a couple cards, I think. I think we could just cut one card, honestly. Based on how low our mana curve is. Like, we do have some expensive spells, but we have 2 land cyclers. And all of our cards, for the most part, only cost 2 mana. And we don't have a lot of ways to draw additional cards. And by a lot of ways, we have 0. We have 0 cards that draw us additional cards. So I think we're going to have to risk 16. Ooh, that's a really good card, too. Alright. But maybe we don't. Maybe we don't do that. Alright. Oh, looks like our auto land filler didn't work. because we have Loris, I think we're going to play the Scorn for sure. I like the Ichor Drinker, and I like these Dune Shapers. We do have 2 double color cards. They're both pretty neat. Although we do need to hit our mana for like Sunfall and these like other cards, so maybe we'd still stick with 16, or not 16, but 17 lands. So we kind of have to cut cards that aren't going to be as good. I mean, all these cards are great, and this is going to be tough to cut. I mean, I guess the first one we can cut a Aetherborn here. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. 4 and 3, that's kind of rough. But that is kind of how it goes in that format. If you stumble once, you're just going to get beaten, and Phyrexia all will be won. I guess the next card we'd cut is probably something that... like, this card's value went up. Like, if we didn't get that much interaction, we probably wouldn't play the Tiller of Flesh. But we do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stuff that targets. That's still pretty low for the Tiller of Flesh. That means that, like, if we don't get any value, 1 trigger on this, it's not worth it. And the way I look at it, we have 13 creatures. We have 13, plus these 2 are definitely considerable to be grizzly bears at least. So we have 15 creatures as it sits. I think we can cut the Tiller of Flesh. I like this card, but I don't think it impacts the board enough to make a difference. I mean, we could probably want to hold under your removal as long as you can, but we really don't have that many spells that target. So I think we're going to go ahead and cut that. I do like that card. I think that card's really good, but I think based on the sets of parameters, because sometimes we're just going to be casting this to make it into a 2/2. Not everyone plays non-token artifacts and enchantments. Sometimes they just play incubation cards, and this card just has no effect against that. I've been in enough positions where this card has always been a grizzly bear, which has been fine. And in our deck, it's a 2/2 Phyrexian that becomes a 3/3 Phyrexian with Sculpted Perfection. So, that it's fine. I think we want to keep the Halberd around. I think we can keep a low land count, mainly because we have 2 cycle cards and loads of 2 and 1 drop creatures with very little top end cards. I'm probably not going to keep an opening hand where we have like, unless it's Sunfall and 5 lands and then like another spell. That would be the only way I'd keep a hand without mulliganing. The other card here, we could look at Infected Defector. I find this card to be decent. Its power is reasonable. It usually is, for the most part, against the basic creatures in this format, it's pretty strong. And then when it dies, you get to transform it. It's also a Phyrexian Knight, which is also complemented by the Sculpted Perfection. So we want to make sure that we're taking full consideration here. We can just play 16 lands. I think that we're probably going to do that. Some people might think that's insane, but I think based on what we have here, I think 16 lands, well, a lot of our stuff is recursion based and flipping, so we also need to make sure we have enough lands. This is 5 to flip, each are 4 to flip. It's 39 lands and Fireball. Well, unfortunately, we don't have that. And the fact that we have 2, we have the Alabaster and the Gloomfang that cycle for us, and we have an Unseal, kind of makes me want to play 16 lands. But our top end spells are so powerful. I guess we can cut the infected. We'll try 17. I think 17 is a fine number. We just don't want to be caught without mana. I've lost too many games in the recent days, adding up to this, where I just didn't have what I needed. I'm going to go ahead and run the Blood Caves here. And my main reason for that is that we do have one creature that does require Phyrexian mana. And it's fine to have that in our deck. There's probably a lot of people would argue to bring in Tiller, then we can run Aerial Boost and like maybe one of these failed conversions, which is a fine argument. Maybe that is worth it. Like we could probably trim on one of these. Well, that's the problem, is that we're trading one for the other. I think we would have to trim on like... If it wasn't for Luris, I think a lot of our plays would be different. We could bring in Aerial Boost instead. Aerial Boost is another spell that targets. That gives us 6 spells, which does increase Tiller of Flesh's necessity. We skip on the Halberd just because that gives us a little bit more of an edge. And then now we have 6 cards that target, which is good. Plus Tiller of Flesh. I think Tiller of Flesh is very good. I think it's worth just reconsidering, and then maybe we can cut for one failed conversion. No, we'll just run. I think we'll run it like this: 16 lands, even split, black and white mana. We're going to put Lyris as our homie. I mean, we can't really, since this is a permanent, we can't really put Luris as our, if we could have done Companion, where our Companion could be Luris, we would have to cut the Perfection and just a lot of other cards, but this is fine. I think this is looking pretty legit. Alright, let's just hop to it. I think this is our deck. We're looking at 12 creatures and 12 non-creatures, but 2 of those non-creatures are technically creatures. And this turns into a creature. This also creates a creature. This also creates a creature. So I think we should have enough pressure to win the game. And yeah. Alright. This is it. One goes Dork, Kaya. I'm catching up on what you writ here, Dumpster. Text if this guy, man, you really got on here. Gift of Completion, Sun Guardian, Alabaster, and Invasion. This looks like a fine hand. I'm willing to keep this. I'm going to start on Swamp. Because if we draw our double black creature, we can play it. We did not. We drew a land. We'll just run out our 2/2. Alright, 2/2 host. Alright, so we did draw Tiamat. We'll go ahead and play that here and pass. Yeah, the Death Guard is fine. So he's put a damper on us. We're just going to go ahead and just play the completion card and pass. Because this puts a 3/3 incubated token into play. And the real question is we probably cycle and then invade, killing this thing, depending on what they do this turn. But so far our deck is performing pretty well. We cannot stress this enough. I think 16 is playing optimally well for our deck, but typically I think 17 is the right amount. Alright, they're catching up to go wide. They really don't have much here. I'm going to go ahead and cycle this to make sure we hit our land drops. We could flip our creature and then we offer a trade. But I think this also, we take out their... We can also take out their haster. So this thing can make other creatures have haste. I think that they might have a dragon in their hand.
I couldn't find chorizo or Cool Whip or red beans. I got one more. I think I got the right gene tags. At first I thought they were all out, but I ended up totally different aisle finding them.
They might flip here. Double strike on which creature? On itself. Okay. Giving itself haste. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's see. This is 8, 9, 10 plus 4 more is so 4, 10 plus an additional 4 is 14, 15. That would be lethal if we attack like that. That's if they don't block, but then we have a 3/3 flyer. Oh, but we also have to pay life to do that, so I think that's probably a mistake. We're going to go ahead and flip this into a creature. Um,
Could be in the car. I said I'm gonna set the receipt on the island. Yeah, that's fine.
and we'll attack for 5 and see what they want to do. So they can't kill my Tiamat, but they can kill my 3/3 token.
I think it might be in the bag with the keyboard. Might be in this bag. Just one of them.
All right. I can handle a 2/2. A 4/3 gets a little tough, so we'll just trade the token for the Dune Shaper. We get to Scry's Wall. Unsealed Necropolis is decent here. I'm going to go ahead and just play this as a 2/2. We'll probably take 8 here. If they attack with this, I will offer the trade with our Sunblessed. And the reason why we can do that is that we do have Luris's in our deck.
Man, I was at that Walmart for a while. Trying to find stuff. Are you sure you're okay?
Up to 2 target creatures gain +2 and haste. Okay, so.
But that,
And
that
vigilance.
keyboard receipt, just in case I have to take it back.
Be 12,
The keyboard came
15,
computer, but
plus
not
2 more.
keyboard. Gosh.
We can take. We can go to 1 and double block this.
I mean, it's a good keyboard. It's just it's too small. The keys are too small.
Alright, we're going to go to 3.
Yeah, I asked they do.
I'm going to take this guy out.
Yeah.
Let them make their decision.
I think they're all open until 6.
Eat 2 of their creatures, gain 2 life back. Alright, so we got our Necropolis. What kind of creature could I mill? That would be pretty good here. I guess Luris would be decent to mill. But let's see. I think we just sit back here. I want to save this Sunder. Because it's still an active card that could help us. We'll go ahead and block there, which gives us our Surveil. Okay, that's just really good. Oh man, we're going to 1. That's not necessarily great. Oh, they're debating whether they want to flip their battlement or not. Sure. Okay. Like those two. I really want to mill any of my cards here. And since I know what I'm drawing, I'm going to go ahead and just draw. And then we're just going to play it. Okay, so we can flip our own guy here, which I actually don't mind. Information is key in this format. We're going to hold up on seal so we can... Yep, we won. Bam! On-color duel as a ditch? That's pretty sick. Getting on-color duels as a ditch is always fun. Strong. I did. I won. That game was crazy. You gotta play tight in order to win those games. Alright. Oh, okay. Playing against Kindrel. Alright. Strong hand, I'll keep it. And by strong, it's just it's got a decent interactive card plus another interactive card plus amazing spell. Alright. Easy attack. Like, Sunfall is crazy that we played in our deck. Okay. Black, white. Black, white, blue. I don't... We don't really need our land in this matchup. Although we did draw something that did. Alright, we'll go ahead and attack here. I'll take that trade. Another card that does it. What did they mill from us? Luris and Flourish and a Swamp. I think we'll just ditch the Dactyls at this point. Nice. Yeah, it's best to keep the pressure on. They're also playing black-white, it seems like. Nice. Okay, so... So what I think I'm going to do here is go ahead and destroy their enchantment so they can't have vigilance. And I'll get in for one. Actually, no. Reason why I'm doing this is so we can activate our incubator and then have aerial boost available if they try to take out this invasion. Vanquish, right, is destroy target creature's power. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and counter that. And then auto pay it. So essentially, we got to do all our tricks there. Oof. Man, that would have been good. Now we can keep applying pressure to our opponent. Cute. I don't know what they could have. I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 2. And pass. Because we can target their face with this. Which means we can kill them with a card in our hand. Alright, we're going to leave the swamp in our hand. It's unlikely they don't have a counter here, but we're going to go ahead and try. Alright, we got rid of their guy. Doesn't look like they have anything but lands. Alright, we have lethal set up. We won. Woo! Alright, that's pretty good. Cool game there from our opponent. Nice win on our side. I felt like we played that perfectly. I don't think we could have played it differently, other than not discarding our planes. But if we wouldn't have discarded it, I don't know how much of that would have mattered. I just think it's almost always best to discard your land, because you can always draw more lands. Because lands get useless eventually, whereas in your spells typically don't get that much useless. Alright, we're going to use this to cycle, so we can just push some damage in. I think it's fine to just draw another card here. I'll just go ahead and do that. Sweet. We drew Luris to complement what we've just done. Then play their guy. Well, if they don't have a removal for our Luris, yeah, they have to do that. Go ahead and draw a card here. That's pretty good. I'll go ahead and play my creature and pass. Well, they're blue-red. Like, the likeliness of them having an artifact or enchantment is pretty low. So I think we're just going to get on the... Well, they could have destroy, deal 3 damage to all creatures. I think we're better just to pass here. That card is cute. Nice. I have a neighbor that's like 5'8", so the what is going on here? I gotta read this. Has a deerhound, and the thing would be about 6'8" if it stood on its hind legs. It's fun and cool, and I got a picture. The end. Oh man, I'll have to take a look at that. That's funny. Okay. So this card is interesting. I think we're just going to go ahead and flip our dude. And we'll attack here. I mean, if they want to trade, I'm down with that. They do not. Okay, they're adding to the board. We've played against Thorns enough. Okay, they want to flip this as well. That's cool. They don't have the mana to counter my spell. I'm just going to go ahead and place Unfall. We have the answer already in our hand with our gate here. Ooh, Squee the Immortal. That's cool. Cool and fun. So this creature beats their on-board creature, and we can just get this off the board this turn. I'd rather just take the time to do that, while also also generating 2 tokens. And our hand is like fully loaded of just removal spells. It's pretty awesome. Alright, Invasion of Kaladesh. Sure. So they have 6 power in play. I'm just going to go ahead and come at them for 6. Which is fine. We have activations on their instep we can activate. This triggers as many times as we want. Yeah, we'll go ahead. We're going to start marching into our opponents here. Fine to play that.
No secret deodorant from me. We didn't need paper towels. We didn't need paper towels.
Looks like they might have the Convoke counterspell. Yeah. Alright, let that resolve. And we just deal damage to our opponent. Alright. Like, we haven't dealt with the squee. We could deal with it if we need to, but I think at this point we're so far ahead that we might as well. Oh yeah, they're just giving up. There's no way you go for this play unless you have nothing in your hand. We have lethal in play. So if their play is... Okay. Yeah. We got there. We won. Our draw was very good. Man, sometimes you just draft a really good deck. It's really cool. Alright. Next turn. I don't necessarily think I have this format solved, but I do understand what to expect when we're playing this format. And it's such a swingy format that you can't just assume that your opponent's not going to have an out. There's so many good cards in this set that assuming that is definitely going to cost you games. But in that spot there, when you're tapping 4 of your six lands, you're probably not getting back in that game. At least not from my opponent's standpoint. They would have to have had like a pretty insane turn to play that 1-drop there. They would have had to have followed up like with another 1-drop, and then like had some weird convoke spell that I don't know exists, but it's possible. I literally don't know this set like the back of my hand. There's several cards I don't have yet. My other controller is on the floor. Like, why is my mouse moving on its own? Cubus next. All right, I'm happy with this hand. We've one of our better removal spells plus two, a 1-drop and a 2-drop. I mean, that's what our deck's trying to do. So, granted, definitely don't want to draw more land. And if I was to draw land, I would have liked to have drawn a swamp there. But you can't get everything you want. So they have a paused here. They're probably going to cycle, so I'm deciding what. Yeah. There are artifacts they could have next turn that we could save our Sunder for. We'll just play the Sanctifier. I don't think there's an enchantment they could have here. Yeah, there's their cycle. Pest. Interesting. So our Convoke +2/+2 spell would be a solid answer to this. And our opponent is taking a long time to figure out if they want to land or not. Okay. We didn't get that. I'm going to go ahead and just offer the trade for the Sanctifier. Interesting. Alright, we're going to try to get on board. Like, red-green's going to be less likely to have an enchantment. Ooh, they choose a creature type. That's kind of cool. I haven't seen that guy in a while. And they chose creature. Alright, so all their creature spells cost 1 less to cast. It is unfortunate that I don't have another play other than to flip this. Simply because we don't have another black mana. But we did draw another good card, so once we get a black mana, we should be good. In this spot, it's pretty good. Oof. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Now, this is a game where if we had a black mana, this probably wouldn't have happened, but alright. Okay, so we're kind of screwed. Whenever you cast a spell, do 2 damage to each opponent. I mean, alright, we're just going to go to the face with this. Like, not drawing another black source here is just brutal. Like, I had a fear they had this card. Like, I literally thought, I'm like, okay, that's what they get us with, but if we don't play to the board, we're not going to win. And we had nothing but answers in our hand. Cute. That's pretty good. We still have an out. If we draw our Wrath next turn, that would be pretty devastating to our opponent. We draw a Black Source. I don't think that'll be enough. Play a chump blocker, chump here. I mean, I guess we could still play to that out, but it's not looking good. They've been able to hold up priority here. I don't know what they have. Oh, cool. I think that's a really rude statement to make there. Good game. When just because you think that you win the game is it's pretty an intolerable statement to make there. Show me this good game. Oh, doesn't look like they had the game over yet, do they? Yep. Cool. All because I didn't have another black mana. That's pretty rough. Oh, you do? Well, I love you too. I love everybody. Man, that's frustrating. Really frustrating. I don't know where this degeneracy came from, where people are just rude to their opponents, screaming "good game" when it was obviously not a good game. It's like they don't know how to win with grace. I mean, where has the where's the timeline shifted here? Why do people do that? Announce the good game before the game is over. It's on your opponent. Like, I would have given them a good game. I'll be honest with you, I was probably going to give them a good game, even with them beating me, because their deck looked good. But just doing their thing there is just a salty, douchey way. That means to me that they probably don't win a lot of games at Magic, and they were upset that they had to play against me, which is whatever. I get it, but I don't know. I feel slighted every time they do that. I try not to let it get to me, but sometimes it's hard to avoid. I think we're going to start with playing our Ichor Drinker. Oh, look at that. Sculpted Perfection. That would have been a good card. Oh, look, another Black Source. Green. I don't know what their other color is, so I'm just going to go ahead and flap that out. White. White does have good enchantments and stuff, so we can't really get through that. We weren't going to be able to get through that anyways. Just going to pass. Cute. They probably should attack here. I'm going to go ahead and take it. Just because I know I can play my Sculpted Perfection. Nice draw. Which then allows me to attack for 2. Okay. And a blue mana. Interesting. Kind of want them to flip this battle before I do anything else. I guess this gives us the most damage this turn because we get to swing for 5. Bob and Mary. Interesting. Oof. Alright. No, thank you. I'm done with that. Whew. That card was really scary. Like, we had an answer to it right here, but I'd rather just blow up the board. Because we can win from this position. We don't have any. They can't really attack us next turn, or before attacks. Yeah. I think we just say. I guess we can get this into play. I'm going to go ahead and play this. And we'll just say go. Okay, they get to kill our guy. That's fine. They want to trade for my 7/7. I will gladly let them. This is fine. That is not fine. Ugh. That is a rough card to beat. They're at 9. If they attack us, we're taking it. So my God. That is a lot of pressure. Alright. Man, this card is rough. Can't really attack. Wow, that was such a good card for him to have. Honestly, if they attack with a bunch of knights, I'm going to eat all their knights and just let them kill this thing. they don't have any creatures left to block, I mean, it's better for us. Alright, so they probably have a follow-up play, it looks like. That's fine. Bolster Knight, cute. So, we can kill their Teferi at the cost of our board. They could choose to not let this hit, not block, and then 8 plus 6, so 9, 17, 21. We're going to force them to block. By going to their face. We're not winning this game if we sit back on our haunches. Now we get to scry a bunch here, so surveil, I should say. That's actually a really good card here. Essentially sets us up for lethal, depending on what they do. They're probably going to draw. They can't afford to pitch creatures here, so they're going to have to throw away whatever else they have. Looks like they drew 2 lands. Alright, I'm going to slap down my guy. My guy has Menace. Attack his face. Give him a hello, and that's how you win those games. My gosh. You gotta get a little lucky, but we were gonna get 4 triggers with our surveil, so we're bound to find something. Whew! That 8/8 got me scared. I'm gonna grab some water. I'm gonna be right back. Alright, I'm back. Next round. Just had to get some water. Whew, that game was crazy. I officially can say that's the first time I've ever beaten that blue-white spell. That invasion of Zelfir? Is that what it is? That card is so amazing. But, you know. Woof. Especially after they played the 8/8. I was like, damn, that is rough. And we'd already used our Wrath. I was like, man, I don't know. I'm glad we were able to beat that card, and I think we beat them fair and square on that after them playing a big bomb. But it is possible to beat that card. It's just you also have to be ahead on board. This is fine. Unfair and trapezoid. That's fair. Fair. It's a fun fair. Fun fair. Hopefully we draw. I mean, I don't mind playing this as a 2/2 for Phyrexian. They are playing green. I don't know what their other color is. I kind of want to hold on to this just in case. I'm going to go ahead and put my guy into play. Because I'd rather be attacking with a 3/3 next turn if we can. Hopefully we don't draw any more land. Fang. I'm going to go ahead and just attack here. I'll probably trade this with this creature anyways. Alright. They probably have Cosmic card. Or they really value... Yeah, Cosmic Hunger, there it is. Yeah, get that out of here. Don't need no land. Unfortunate. To have drawn a land there. I can't cycle my only card I have that isn't a land, so we're just going to have to sit on it. What is going on here? Oh, that's cute. I like it when people come up with a different approach to the format. Like this plus this is pretty good. I think this card actually looks really solid. I'm going to go ahead and just take one. I mean, if we die to Toxic, amen to them. I don't know how else to play my deck. They're probably going to put counters on their guy. I'm going to go ahead and encourage that. And we'll pass. Cute. That's fine. We can't block it. We take 2. Okay. That's a bit more reasonable of a card here for us. I'd rather not play this into them having a removal spell. Yeah, getting to do that. We can still double block here. If they have the removal spell for my creature, I'd rather them use it on one of my tokens. Gains indestructible. Cute. Alright. That is interesting. We surveilled. Don't think the Dunescaper's... The Dunescaper's not bad here. It's a nice follow-up play, but I don't think we need that. We got 2 more surveils. Oh, perfect. I'll gladly take this here. I'm just going to slap down this bad boy. I'm going to leave my land in my hand, just in case they have the rat. Because it wouldn't surprise me if they had rats here. Vengeant. Plus equipped, and we trade. So I have to block it here. Surveil. Ichor Drinker. Yeah, I don't need that right now. Sure. I mean, we can race their 2-1. Okay. We're trying to encourage them to overextend. Nice. Alright. We're going to lose 2, they gain 2. No attacks. Huh. Oh, they're looking to trade? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and attack. Alright. I'm going to make a 4-4 here and just get their board clear. We have an answer in our hand to pretty much any threat they could play this turn. Yeah, they gain 5 life when that enters. Not bad. Alright, we'll activate our guy. Attack for 5. Deck does plus land. Alright, they can activate their creature. Shade. Okay. We take 6. This makes a 3-3, becomes a 4-4. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Alright. Simple math. The game is done. Boom. Like, if we didn't have the big 1-for-1 removal spell, we had, like, something else there, we probably couldn't wrap. We probably would have had to play something else to the board. But we were in such a good spot that I felt like we had the ability to do so. This is a fine hand. I don't know what they have, but I think just adding pressure to the board matters too much to not do this play. Hmm. Well, they're probably going to cycle here. I don't know if there's a removal they could have. Volt Spike. Sure. Alright, so they have the pest. We could kill the pest here, but I'm just going to flip my guy. And still keep attacking my opponent. Or maybe I do kill their pest. Because then they need to both have an answer and a threat to really pose a... Yeah, this is right. Just kill this. Let me flip our guy. Burnished Dune Stomper is pretty good. 4/4. They most likely have a fight spell here, but they could just get to the board. I'd be surprised if they attack. Okay. Unfortunate that I drew a land. I'm just gonna go ahead and I think we'll pass. I'm gonna play my land and pass. Because if they have like a Cosmic's fight or something, I need to kill it. Getting a 2-for-1 is kind of where we need to be. Now, granted, they could follow up with a bomb. That's bombish. All right, so we drew a land. I really don't. Yeah, we don't need to pay life here. I can just play this, and then use our treasure token to flip our guy. We don't need to pay life if we can help it. We'll go ahead and smash. Alright. Okay. Reason why I'm playing this creature beforehand, it raises this guy's power. So, but there is a card they could have here that could really blow us out. So I think we're just going to attack for 4. And the card I'm thinking of, oh, they just take it. Oh, weird. That is weird. Hmm. Make me sacrifice a creature. Okay. I guess I give him Daktos. The last card must be good. Because they had to have... They just drew this, so... Okay. They bluffed me pretty good on that last turn. Um, they're at 2. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play my guy. We attack for 4. They could trade if they. We can offer the trade. Yeah, I think it's best that we just offer the trade. Because they can still rip a removal spell off here. Alright, that's fine. I guess not. They don't want to take any damage, that makes sense. But we offer the trade. Because if they go removal spell, they get their backup, they turn this into a 3-3, we can still block their 3-3. That's the main reason for not attacking with the 2-4 there. Because it looks like they do have removal. Alright, looks like we got there, they didn't draw. They didn't draw what they needed and we were able to win. That's nice. I think overall our deck is pretty strong for our draft. Nice. Cooping any losses we've had. The set is a very crazy, you know, I feel like you flip the coin, like, and we hope we get there. But their particular battles were kind of scary for us, because them being able to, like the one that turns into a 3-2, a 2-1 menace or a 3-2 menace, that one's not too bad. It's the one that becomes a star equal to the number of lands they control. That's not exactly what we want to play against at that point of the game. So just making sure that we don't just immediately die to them being able to flip that thing for some reason is very much important. The reason why I didn't make that one attack, even though we were open to it, if they specifically had the spell that was 2 green and a colorless, they could give their creature +1 and then take down one of my creatures while also taking down the other, and I would have been left with nothing, and I couldn't risk that. Alright, it's a solid hand. I'm willing to keep it. You should have attacked with the 2. The reason why I didn't attack with the 2-4, and I I can't stress this enough. The reason why I did not attack with my 2/4 there was because um, if they rip a removal, like this is a blatant disrespect for my knowledge of this format. Um, or maybe it's complete respect. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just play this and pass. So, the reason why I didn't do that is if they rip a removal spell for my Alabaster, they get to put their 4/3 back into play. They can add a counter to their 3/3, and if I'm tapped out with my 2/4, they attack their battlement, and let's say for whatever, or they attack me and draw more cards, which is just not something we can really have. Going ahead and blocking here. Everyone's new favorite card. I have yet to see people play this card. I don't need to lose my creature here. Actually, I could afford to lose it. No, I'd rather not. We just take 2, they gain 2 life. Alright. No, you don't suck. It's just... It's just something that I've played this set enough to know that you can't just go for it. You kind of have to... You gotta... Even when you get your opponent to no cards in hand, there's so many cards that people can draw that just put them right back in the game, that it's so so powerful for them. I'm not planning on flipping this thing, and I can use it as a removal spell here because we have Luris. If we draw a Swamp or Plains, we'll be able to play our guy from our yard. That's unfortunate. I don't know if we want to play Luris here. I think... So we have 2 tokens that animate. I think, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do this. We get another 2/2, but we clear the board, and now we can just play to our... If we rip a land, we can just activate these and smash our opponent. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad I ripped a removal spell, because that card is broken. Alright, it's time to start winning the game. Man, Skitherix the Blighted. That card is really strong. Alright, they also have Sculpted as well. Sure, I guess we'll just offer trades left and right. Well, they decided to just take it. Okay. We're surveilling. Perfect. They're at 3. Yep, I think here we just play to the board. Yeah, Transformers are pretty awesome. Very much awesome. Mm-hmm. All right, we got there. 7-1. Way to go. That's good. That's what we want to see. All right, that was good. So let's just go back over the deck and see exactly what we came to our decisions with. Um, we had the two Doomscapers, the Ichor Drinker, and the Scorn Bloodblade. Some of you might have missed this, but Luris plus this card is pretty sweet. Um, Not to mention, it's pretty cute to do this with Daktos in play, generating mana. Um, we had other cards we could have added to our deck. We were looking at different things. We ended up cutting the Infected Defector, mainly because we just needed to cut our mana cost down, and I wanted one more spell that targets, so I cut it for Aerial Boost, so we could play Artiller Flesh. Otherwise, we were going to be playing one more land and running this instead, and I just think Tiller of Flesh obviously showed you the power of this card in this format. And we have, if I felt like the format was getting a little bit too creature flooded, we would have brought in probably one of these. But overall, I think we ended up masterfully getting a wonderful deck here, and was able to shine through. Sculpted Perfection, an incredible card. If you, in this format, all the high valued uncommons and things like that. Thank you, Ghost. I appreciate that, brother. And I think this card's actually proved its worth as a great first pick for us. Or our first pick was Sunfall. I mean, by and large, a lot of our games came down to this just being in our deck, which added a huge dynamic to our ability to win. If you thought this card was not good, you should rethink that. It's very good, incredibly good. It's especially good when you have it in your hand and you can just kind of just push your opponents into playing it. But it was incredibly good in black-white specifically, proving that the incubate cards are probably one of the best mechanics in the set for at least limited wise. I could definitely see it's also pretty good in constructed, but in limited, what it adds is just this dynamic of playthrough against all the other colors. But our deck ended up coming together pretty well. We had some really good uncommons here in the removal. We ended up getting a Deadly Desertion. This card's really good. The Invasion card can be decent, and in this particular build of the deck with Incubate, this card can be very strong with all the additional cards. I've been really impressed by Sunder the Gateway. There's plenty of enchantment deck cards that people rely on their enchantments to win, and just having this card in their deck is huge. Plus, it also can kill the legendary demigods because they are enchantments. If you run into that and forget that these are enchantments, you can kill them with this. Yeah. An Aerial Boost, sweet card to have. Nice, cute trick. It's probably the lowest tier card in our deck, but it's still pretty good. Yeah, a lot of fun ways to play this format. In my opinion, there's going to be more of these. I'm going to do more videos. So thanks for watching. I'm going to take off. I have other things I got to be doing tonight. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. There is a draft format that I am particularly interested in that I'm going to be doing Monday morning for me. It starts Sunday night if you live in the +2 over in the, I think, European area. But yeah, I'm able to sign up for this event for drafting for this set. I'll be broadcasting those on the regular when I Twitch stream them. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about that format. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.